Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another AB Daily News with the hockey coach, Coach FRENCHY. Today, episode number 306. What do you menu coach today? First of all, guys, let's talk about the goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens, but more specifically about Samuel Montembeault. Finally, a quick AB news update about the prospect for the Montreal Canadiens. But before we start, we invite you, don't forget, please, to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Live Show, and leave me a comments about this episode, and let's dive in talking about the first subject of the day. The first subject of the day, guys, I want to talk about Samuel Montembeault. Why? But first of all, before we talk about him, I want to show to you his stat in 2022 and 2023. Here the stat for Samuel Montembeault. He has 16 W, 19 loss, 3 loss in overtime. Then he have a goal against average of 3.42 and save percentage of 901. So Montembeault, it was drafted by the Philadelphia Panthers, guy, third round, 77 overall pick. Now, in NHL, guys, he already played over 103 game. And then his GSVA last year, guys, it was at 11.8. This is a big number. This is very important. It was only the 13th goaltender in NHL have the best GSVA is a goal save value above. So this is really good number. I know Montreal Canadiens fans, like you, like me, we want the Montreal Canadiens find a goaltender for the future. And this is right. But I think we don't give enough credit for Samuel Montembeault. For me, to consider a good goaltender in NHL, you need to wait for that goaltender reach a minimum of 100 game in NHL. He did it. He's at 103. He showed last year, guys, he's a good goaltender in NHL. He need maybe to prove again one more year. But I think as a fans, we need to consider Montembeault a little bit better. I think we don't give enough credit for right now for Montembeault. He stole the job at Jake Allen last year during the second half of the season 2022-2023. That's what he did. Jake Allen struggled more, and Montembeault, it was really solid between the pipe for the Montreal Canadiens. We know Montembeault need to develop more. He need to improve more. We know that. But I think we should consider a little bit more him to become a goaltender starter number 1 in NHL at some point. It takes time for any goaltender to reach his full potential in NHL. Many of them start the career, guys, after 25 years old. Talking about Max Strom, talk about Tim Thomas, Corey Crawford, and I can go all the way like this. Really solid goaltender reach his potential around 26 to 28 years old. This happening, yes, yeah, exception. Yes, some of them start at 22, 23, 24, but a goaltender draft around 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round. We need to wait until he reaches 26 years old before he becomes a starter in NHL. Is it the case for Montembeault? The time will tell us. Montembeault could become a good, solid goaltender in NHL. Now, the NHL shifting, remember, they use more, divide the number of the game as a starter in NHL. It's rare you can see a goaltender with 60 games and more. Yes, exception. Elebach, Vasilevsky. In NHL now, we know the goaltender are more split the game as a starter. It's more pretty even, 40-game age goaltender. And I think right now, Montembeault, with that kind of style he developed for the last 12 months, we need to consider him as a starter with the Montreal Canadiens. He just continues to performing. Look what he did right now with the Team Canada. Again, he continues to prove to the people he's a good goaltender. And I think the fans, you and me, we need to give him more credit. I think we need to be a little bit more patient. But the time will tell us what happening with Montembeault. But for me right now, he's a goaltender number 1 for the Montreal Canadiens. And next year, it will really show to us if he can become a solid goaltender in the NHL with the Montreal Canadiens. By his consistency, by the way he's going to develop, by the way he's going to improve himself. Now, guys, the Montreal Canadiens have 5 goaltenders inside the organization at this moment. We have Primo with the Montreal Canadiens and the Laval Rocket. We have Tobias just left the NCAA to get his first entry-level contract in NHL. Big 6'4", have a really good start for the last 2 years with Ohio State. This show is really special. Why? Because he didn't have no contract with the Montreal Canadiens, and the Montreal need to take a decision and June to sign him or not. If not, they are losing Frédéric Duchot. The problem behind that, the Montreal Canadiens have a limit of 50 contract in NHL. So there's something you have to consider if they are willing to sign him or not. We know Duchot play very well right now at the World Championship. Finally, we have two other goaltenders, the youngest for the organization. Talk about Vrebedic, play with the Trois-Rivières Lions, and then Croteau play in the USHL. We'll see what time how they're going to become. That's what Montreal Canadiens has right now, plus Allen and Montembeault, and of course Carey Price, but unfortunately I don't think so. Carey Price is going to return in NHL. Finally, guys, what happening with Montreal Canadiens? Do you expect or would you like the Montreal select at least one or two goaltender for the upcoming NHL draft? Are you willing for Montreal select the best goaltender at the 37 overall pick? If ever no one take the first goalie in NHL draft 2023, we know the goaltender Rabal is the one where everybody is looking a big giant goaltender at 6'6". So I would like to hear from you guys. Leave us a comment about this first subject. What do you think about Montembeault? Do you consider him as a starter now with the Montreal Canadiens and a starter as a goaltender in NHL? Let's move on now, guys, for my second subject of the day. My second subject of the day, guys, is easy one, is the Montreal Canadiens news and update. Listen, guys, we have the prospect Montreal Canadiens have 3 players right now play in the Canadian Hockey League Junior playoff. One in the WHL, Davidson with the Seattle Thunderbird. They are right now lead the series 2-1. Davidson scored a goal yesterday. And we have the OHL, the London Knights versus the Peterborough Petes. Owen Beck play with the Petes, and Mayu play for the Knights. Both of them have an excellent playoff right now for their team. Last night, an amazing, great game. The Peterborough beat the London Knights 6-5 in overtime. It take the lead of that series 2-1. We have to give credit for Owen Beck. 1 goal, 1 assist for him. And Mayu continues to have another point with an assist for the first goal for the London Knights. One of the two is going to be at the Memorial Cup. We're going to definitely follow up. Then for the QM, we know Montreal have no prospect there, but the Quebec Rempart beat the Halifax Moosehead and overtime to take the lead now 2-1 on that series. So this guy is only thing we have for you for the ad news. Leave us a comments. What do you think about Beck, Mayu, Davidson? Give us a little bit more. What do you think about Beck, Mayu, Davidson? Do you think Beck or Mayu could join the Montreal Canadiens next year? Or do you think all 3 are going to play with the Laval Rocket for the upcoming season 2022 and 2023? That's what we have for you guys on this episode. Here we go. That's it. That's all, guys. We talked today about Samuel Montembeault as maybe a goaltender number 1 for the Montreal Canadiens and for the future. We talk about finally about the news and update with the Montreal Canadiens prospect. This concludes, guys, this episode. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget, please, to click on the likes, subscribe on this channel, and, of course, please leave us a comment. Until the next time, we want to remind you, of course, you have greatness inside of you, and we wish you an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody.